Hey guys, Jessie here from Panicle, and today we're planting a container garden using perennials. So sometimes I like to mix it up and use perennials in a container garden just because you get a totally different look. Now perennials do need to be planted in the ground in order to survive our winter season. So you want to make sure to transplant them from the container and into the ground before the ground freezes solid. That's usually sometime in October. So you have lots of time to enjoy your container all summer long. So when I'm selecting plants, I usually select foliage type perennials just because when perennials bloom, they have a bloom time or a bloom season. So you'll have early, mid, and late season bloomers, not necessarily color all season long in a container garden like you will for annual plants. Another thing about planting perennials in a container garden is it makes a wonderful gift for housewarming or as a memorial. In that case, because the container would be more short-lived, or the idea would be that the person could transplant those plants into the garden fairly soon, I would definitely use blooming plants to add some color and make it really special. Let's go shopping. So we're using a 14-inch container. Remember, these 14-inch containers are great to use as drop-ins. Also an acceptable way if you're giving a gift, just a kind of a way to gather all the plants together and keep them in one place. I'm going to use Tonkaterra, our house blend organic potting soil. So let's get started. Hydrangeas would be an exception to my blooming plant rule in perennial container gardens because these flowers are going to last long into the fall, where they turn a really brilliant rougey pink as the nighttime temperatures begin to cool off. So this is the Bobo Panicle Hydrangea. It's a more compact type Panicle Hydrangea. We will need to remove probably quite a bit of soil from the root ball. So I'm just going to remove the soil and use my container to catch it, but I'm going to scoop out the hydrangea soil and put that in the compost or in a different garden bed. Same as when we plant shrubs, we want to wake up those roots so they know it's time to go down and not around. I think that's looking pretty good. Let's get some of this out. So I kind of put that off to the side. We're for sure going to want some of this Japanese forest grass cascading over the front. Always keep the tags when you're planting the perennial containers so you remember what you have and you remember how to take care of it when it comes to planting in the fall. This is especially important if you're giving this as a gift or as a memorial to a family, because then they know how to use the plants. I often like to enclose them in a card and write a little bit about maybe why I chose the plants, especially if they're some of my favorites. Kind of a nice extra touch. We'll put this purple coral bells up in the front. I've found with experience that the purple or darker leaf colored coral bells are more hardy in our area. Some of the lighter colors like the oranges, reds, and lime greens especially do need more winter protection in my opinion and in my experience. So just be mindful of that. I love this variegated feather reed grass. It's kind of like Carl Forster, just a variegated version. That'll get nice and tall and eventually have a really pretty flower spike or plume. Maybe you call it a plume if it's grass. And these can get 3 feet wide when mature in the garden. We're going to kind of angle this outward so we can see really well. I'm going to put the other forest grass towards the back of the container. He told me I couldn't make a mess out here, so I'm trying to be real careful. I'm going to tuck this grass kind of towards the back. Remember, angle of insertion is important because that way we can see the full expression of the plant. There's a big difference here, here, here. This is a sedum. This is going to get really beautiful pink flowers as we get closer to late summer and into fall, but right now I just really love the blue, green, and purple foliage. I'm gonna make sure to stack all my pots neatly so I can recycle them. We have a recycling center in the back here at Panicle. All right, on this one, I'm gonna pull off some of those lower leaves. Now might be a good time for me to mention we'll have our Perennial of the Week sale throughout the summer. So starting this Friday and each Friday through the month of August, we'll have a featured Perennial of the Week where you can enjoy 20% off that specific perennial for that specific week. And then it'll change each Friday. Let's put that right up in front. This is looking insane. I am so happy right now. And then this is Stackies or lamb's ear. We'll add this for a little softness. Careful, these really spread in the garden. So if you plan on planting it, make sure you have a lot of room. Then I like to cut off the flowers. Not cute. Not cute, sorry. Your root ball is gonna need to get real small because not much space left. Right, making a little pocket for our stackies. In you go. And let's tilt this hydrangea a little bit so we can see everybody. Getting a little buried here in the front. What do we think? Again, I'm planting backwards and upside down with no plan other than what we put together here today. I think we're doing it. I think I'm in love. The only thing I'm a little unhappy with is kind of the view of that keeper up. So let's keep getting the angle correct over here. It's better. It'll grow into. There we go. We have a container garden planted with gorgeous perennials, suitable to sit on your front steps or to give as a gift or in memorial of a loved one or friend. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at Hydrangeas.